Mark Cuban was at an event with Bill Gates a day or two ago in Dallas where he was on stage. And Mark Cuban made a joke about the current situation with the Mavs regarding the Luka Doncic trade with Bill Gates. Here's what he said. I got to tell you, I've had a rough week, said Mark Cuban. And the next response was, if after you left Microsoft, you found out that Steve Ballmer traded Windows 11, like the new hot operating system for Windows 10, the Hall of Fame but older operating system, what would you do? Bill Gates then played up the response by saying, I might have to hide from the press. Cuban responded by saying, I know a couple of other people that are in that situation, he said. And then he said something like, they don't make trades like that to us. So this is what he said. And Mark Cuban has been playing up this role as this innocent bystander in the whole entire Luka Doncic drama, that he had no part in making this trade. He wasn't behind this, so he's completely absolved of any criticism. He's been playing it up real well, but I think he does deserve some of the blame. I definitely do. I know some people will say, like, well, Mark can't get any blame because he had no control of basketball operations, that this wasn't his say, and if he had control, he would have stopped that. But I disagree. He still deserves some blame. Here's why I do believe he deserves some blame, because I think Mark Cuban knew the deal when he sold this team. He knew that he wouldn't have the final say-so in basketball operations. And I think he knew that there was always a possibility the Adelson family could do something stupid like this. But he was still down to relinquish his control of the team by selling the majority stake of it to this family. So let's just look at just some facts about the sale and the history of Mark Cuban being the owner of the Mavericks. Mark Cuban bought the Mavericks back in 2000 for $285 million. And he ended up selling his stake of the team to the Adelson family. He sold 72.3% of it. Now the Adelson family owns 72.3%. He retained 27% stake in the team, so he became a minority owner at owning 27% of the Mavericks. He sold the team for $3.5 billion. Keep in mind, he bought the team originally for $285 million. So he made over a $3 billion profit by selling this team. And this is why he gave it up, obviously. So I think Mark knew the risks, but he saw the dollar signs. He was super greedy, and he went all in for the money. It's hard for me to believe that Mark Cuban, a guy who's been a businessman for 40 some years of his adult life, did not know that this could possibly happen. He's made tons of business deals before. He's been in tons of ownership groups before. So he knows how this works. He knows that if you have a minority share in anything that you own, that you're not going to get the final say so in the decision making. And whoever has the majority share of the ownership of any institution that you own is going to be able to dictate what goes down, that they're going to get the final say so. And because of that, you're going to have to live with whatever bad moves they could possibly be made. So I think Mark possibly did know that this could happen, that there was a chance that this could go down, that they could make a dumb move of getting rid of Luka, and that they could extort the city of Dallas and the state of Texas for a new arena, because their goal was originally to get a casino. They made it clear when they even bought the Mavs. They wanted the Mavericks to be part of a featured destination for casino resorts in Dallas. Mark knew that ahead of time. He knew all of this stuff ahead of time, but he didn't care. He was willing to take the risk that the Adelson could make bad basketball decisions, because he was all about the greed. He was all about the money, and that's what he wanted. So I do think he deserves blame. He shouldn't be allowed to get away by pretending like, hey, I was a good guy. I never wanted this. Well, you're the one who decided to put these clowns in charge of your team. You decided it because you wanted that payoff, and that's why this is going down. You played a huge role in this indirectly. Had you kept the Mavs, then none of this would have happened. I trust that Mark would have kept the Doncic, but he was willing to risk Doncic and the destruction of the Mavs simply for money, which I get it. I get it. I'm not going to actually knock him for the greed part of him just wanting to get that extra $3 billion, but I just don't believe he should be made out to be a hero or a victim. He's neither. He played a role in this move indirectly by selling the Mavericks to this corrupt ownership group. He knew ahead of time that these people were probably corrupt, but he didn't care. So I think people should stop giving Mark this kind of shelter or refuge, or just in the sense that he's 100% innocent and he's a likable guy and he's the good guy. I don't think he is. I just that's the way I feel about this. So I don't have anything else to say.